day is it? And in what month? This clock never seems so alive.
Oh, gotta put on my headset.
I can't keep up, and I can't back down. I've been losing so much time.
I'm gonna go back. Start this one over.
What day is it?
Yeah. Basically, this is the first day that I'll ever do this thing. And by that, I mean in a way, in a state of showing that I believe that I'm free. And maybe if I believe enough, then I'll know. It's only a matter of realizing that time does exist, but at the same time, it doesn't, at least the way that it is in my mind, as I feel this energetic relief of a concussion that I had in 2019. And hopefully at some point in time I'll remember that day that I saw you, my mind's eye, a dream, and then you were there a few months later, right in front of me. But in reality, you've let go. And so I know that the part of you that's in me and the part of me that's in you has been bestowed as a miracle of love from divinity and a release of energetic depravity of the things that I didn't even see inside of me until the moment I met you. And maybe you were just a catalyst, and then that in fact means that I'm also yours, and I'm also so many more, which means that you're more powerful than you understand, and by more powerful you're stronger than you think. And this is for Katie, the one that sat there in front of me, and through all of my despair, she just saw straight through it. She still cared until other people in her life cut between us like a hot butter knife, and melted what we had away into the point where now she's released. She'll never be back. And maybe I should be careful what I say, because I realize more and more that my words are powerful, or more the fact that they actually start to come true. Like maybe on March 31st, I'll win that thing that I'm hoping so much for, that I can actually feel. But at the same time, I surrender and let go, because it's not my choice, because I've given up my life for the devotion of world peace. And that's what comes from you and me, whether you know it or not. I told you, and I asked you, would you release for 5 years so I could get this done? And then things spiraled out of control in a way that I couldn't even imagine or think. And maybe these words will help you sing, and maybe these words will help you create worlds with your mind, because I know inside of you, you see things that are divine, like the dream that you had of the mushroom hunting doctor taking me away from you, as if you could never catch up. But I'll tell you right now, if you just want to catch up, it won't be to put it on fries, it will be to step out of that hole that you put yourself in and fly.
I know you're somewhere out there, somewhere far away.
Yeah.
I want you back.
But the far away part of you is just the neuroplasticity in me that hasn't deceased, that hasn't switched on and off and increased in a way that I could find this peace inside of me. You're not actually far away, only in this physical reality, because what I see is so much more. It's energy. It's the whole universe. It's every sign in one. It's the Djinpr inside of me. It's Jupiter rising inside, but actually on outside in all spaces, because how could I expand bigger than the whole universe unless I expand into everyone and give birth to unconditional love in a way that no one could ever take it for granted in the next days coming, as I planted enough seeds and enough time and enough lives and enough rhymes and enough things that have felt the treason from everybody else. And I mean everybody else, not just some. And no, but in fact, because the future is not everybody, then I'll take that back when that comes. But until then, it is.
I'm feeling like I'm famous.
And by when I say that I'm talking to the moon, I don't need to be the talk of anything, because I'm already all around you and astounded by what I see, and I'm taking leaps and bounds like Superman because I know it exists. And maybe I don't know it exists from my sight of my eyes, but I know it exists within me as I rise. And this time, not to say that I'm already above, I'm rising and I'm rising, but I'm rising to the left and to the right and to the back and down and all around in this expansion that could never be found or confounded. And I know that every town that I pass through will be abound. What I see, and I know that I want to release, and I don't ever want to stop. And like I said, I'll put one out one after the other, soul shatter. But whose soul am I really shattering? Is it mine or is it yours? Or is it the course that we sit here and we talk about the things in the past that we feel remorse, but I don't. I've forgiven myself in a way that I don't even blame. There's no more responsibility to take. As I see the fox run, and I see the crow rise, and I see the hedgehog roll, and I see what's in your eyes, the sparkle, the release, the need, all the good deeds and the bad ones, but you didn't mean those ones, you meant the good, and the other ones were just things that were misunderstood from certain people. And even that, it's like 7 good and 1 bad, and it's still not even, because the bad shouldn't exist. And that is the contrast that I'm going to remove from this earth, to bring world peace in, so that you can unite and you can bring heaven to earth. You have to understand, and even if you don't, you will, because my free will is a projection of yours, because inside of you there's another course that needs to be met. It's inside of us all that's connected with the power of 3, the divinity of release, and the space that I see when I look up to the moon, and the darkness of veil that shrouds us and is in between each and every one of us, so that we have to actually make cruise instead of just exist. And I will write my book, even if it's my last thing I do with my hands.
There's a calm surrender.
And as I look to the left and I look to the right to make sure that when I take this turn that it's safe, because when I think about the loves that I feel during the days and every single night, it's the fact that I find a way inside of myself to remove all fright, to remove the fact that I thought that once the world was in a dark blight, that we were all in a place where little sprites and fairies would take us over and make us feel like, should we even have done any of this stuff? But really, I used to say, if the world was ending, would you come over? But now I want to say, if the world was at peace, would you come? And I know that this is me just succumbing to the part of me that has always been free. The universal connection, the projection of connection, the election of protection. And when I see in myself introspecting, I know that right now that I can't do any of this without love. But I have enough inside of me to give out forever, because my motivation comes from a purpose outside of myself. And since even if I won't exist and everything else will, then my will be done. And I'll tell you right now, nothing can stop the fire inside of me, even taking my life. And I reprise and I tell you that inside of me I see a surprise for everybody else, and that there's good news coming, and I'm telling you stories of the future. Not that I dwell there anymore, because I'm back to give it out, to tap you all in, even if I have to tap out. I did that before, and I did it myself, but next time it will be because it will be time, and I don't have that judgment inside of me for anybody, not even that. And I have a respect for all those people that sit in a state of lack, and sit in a state of despair, and I sit in a state of I don't care because of the things that are outside of me that have made me aware that there's no love for you that exists, but there is, because I exist, and Superman exists. And if you don't understand that, then look in my eyes as I drive down the street to these beats and to this music, to these soft, sweet voices of Boyce Avenue, and other people that they choose to collaborate with and connect with, but not me. But I'll connect with them on another plane and another level that will go back in time before they started any of this. So they'll put out all the songs that I like and I love, that helped me to exist and helped me rise above the darkness inside of me, that taught me that I wasn't here just as cannon fodder or to be because I'm realizing that even though I've seen that in others, that you're not, and even if you act like a sheep and that you're sheeple or whatever it is, that you're just a group of massive human beings and people. Maybe you can see the tears coming from my eyes as I want to actually get up on a stage and act and not feel so surprised that someone chose me, when I know that I've been chosen all along for this gift of a mission, of a vision. And I had to die that night to be brought back alive so I could give out the story that isn't a story of glory or that there's actually so much gore coming on, but really it's more of a insightful story of love, release, and time, peace, and judgment. Erasure of those words, of some of those things that I find absurd, like being bored and lonely no more. Time is not running out, but I am running out of time.